January for me is back to basics month. So whatever I'm training, I make sure that for the month of January, just the month of January, I hit the basics over and over, because what tends to happen is throughout the year when we train, we learn new techniques, we learn more advanced techniques, our skill level hopefully progresses, and we sort of tend to forget the little stuff. And it's only when we forget the basic stuff that we start to make mistakes. So what I'd like to set you for February, as it's the shortest month, go back to basics. So if you're a judo practitioner, for February, work on your grips. I see a lot of people making mistakes with their gripping where they don't turn the hand out or they don't turn the hand in. So although they're holding onto the gi, they've not really got the leverage and they've not really got a tight, secure grip. If you're into boxing, make sure to put extra effort on your footwork. I see people trying to unload with like these really heavy punches and combination stuff, but they're stood with their feet parallel in front of a bag. And you think, okay, well, if you did that for real, it's very easy to just knock you over. So if you're a jiu-jitsu practitioner, go over the basic hold downs and pin downs. I know there's a big thing where we don't pull guard in this club. Well, not everybody's doing it for a sporting contest, and in terms of self-defense, the guard is a pivotal move. So obviously it depends on what you're training for, but do yourself a favor and just try to go back to basics. If you're in a kicking art, go back to the very basics of correct foot positioning and correct hip positioning before you throw the kick. So just a very brief challenge. Try and go back to basics in at least one session a week. It might seem a bit dull, it might seem a bit boring, but it's vitally important that we get our basics down before we move on to anything else. The basics is the foundation. So if somebody doesn't know how to stand properly with a staggered footwork, then there's no point trying to teach them how to throw a punch, because if someone's got their feet parallel to their hips and their shoulders and they throw a punch, it's just the power of the arm. You need to have a staggered stance so that you can pop the hip into it. And again, this is something people forget. You see them on the back going bam, 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 and it's just swinging their arms from their elbows. They're not popping the hip in to get the full power. So again, little things like that. With judo, again, I know I've mentioned it, but I see so many people trying to sort of turn, and they're almost dislocating their arm because they forgot to turn the palm to face themselves when they're lifting up. So the palm goes from here on the lapel, and instead of just standing out a bit, it twists in before, because the lapel is obviously the lifting arm, sleeve is the pulling arm. But again, I see people making mistakes on that. I will go into more depth with that on the reality-based judo clip that we're going to do very, very soon. But again, just for now, the challenge for you guys for February, it's the shortest month of the year. Take one session a week, even if it's only half the session, to just go over the basics and drill the basics until you get good enough that you can explain how to do it and why you do it. That's the key thing. If you can explain the why you do it, you've got it down. So until then, any questions, suggestions, or comments, please let me know. Leave a little thing in the box below. There'll be links to the website and the Facebook group underneath. And stay safe.